What's going on, guys? I'm not exactly sure what happened to the original intro for this video, but we're remaking it really quick. From the title of this video, you guys can tell we are working on the fuel cell for Carlos's Integra. I got a lot of progress done on it. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with how it came out. I'll show you guys in the next video what it looks like all bolted in and all done and painted and seam sealed and all that stuff. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. It's kind of short, kind of jumping around a little bit, but yeah, we got some stuff done, and let's roll it. Here is another thing that I did not show you guys that I have been working on. This is Carlos's Viscous coupler, if you can't tell what this is. I ended up taking it apart. This one is actually pretty nice, so everything inside of it had definitely been rebuilt somewhat recently because all the seals were good in it, the bearings looked new, and then the fluid is actually really nice. So what most people do is they go ahead and swap the fluid out, because most of the time these things are junk and they don't transfer like any of the power to the actual rear wheels at all. It just spins and slips. So we got the nice fluid in there. It's not the real sticky fluid, it's the semi-sticky fluid. I forget who actually sent it out. I'll have to find that and I'll put that in the link. We did go ahead and get it though. It's not as sticky as Roman's. I remember when I was there when they were doing Roman's was like you could like tip it upside down and this stuff didn't even want to move. It looked like rubber cement. So this stuff actually had like some viscosity to it, but it's definitely way sticky, and we're hoping that it sends a decent amount of power to the back, but hopefully not too much, so that way it snaps rear axles. But got that done. I actually need to just go borrow a press and just get the final snap ring up top, and I'm also waiting on the rubber carrier. When I took the carrier off, the bushing, it ended up just ripping. So before I can mount the Viscous, I need to do that. I also did go ahead and get the transmission back in this, so the all-wheel drive training is in. We did get the mounts finally. Thank you, Hasport. It actually showed up earlier than what I thought they were going to, so I appreciate it a lot. We got a lot of work we got to do in this thing. This thing needs a lot of love. Like, I'm gonna clean up all the wiring and these weird, all this junk just going on everywhere. So probably do that in some of this video as well. As you can see, I went with we're gonna cut first and ask questions later. I think this will be the best bet. I've talked to a couple people. There's really no structure right here in just the sheet metal. It still has bumper support that ties basically two unibody frame rails together. The suspension little cross-center back piece here thing I'm not touching. It's got the cage. I got a sheet metal back in anyways. I think it's gonna be alright. So it's the next day. I did make a little bit of progress, so I went over to PFI today. I don't have a brake or a shear, so this is some 22 gauge mild that I'm going to be using to box in the fuel cell, because it has to be separated from the driver if it's inside the car like this. So I went ahead and just got some dimensions made. My plan is to shorten this plate up over here and bring this all the way up against this back part, and like just notch it around for everything that's over here. And then this side obviously will just go down right there, and then this back side we'll have to make like a custom piece for that, but that's no big deal. And then we will go ahead and fuse like all this right here, and then everything that's like on the body part will just get MIG tacked, and then we will seam sealer it in. And then I want to build some I'm not really 100% positive how I want to do this yet, but I want to build some type of like square panel here, put some type of like seal or something around it, and then make a different lid for it that has like the quick disconnect, like quick release push button things like all around it, so that way like it's easy to take the panel off, because the return line's still going to be up here, so I need to get to that. And then I mean, just in case, it's just nice to be able to get to the top of them if you have to do anything with it, so that way you can still get your hands in there and stuff. It's got some room on it. I'll take this off. I got to take this back off because I need to clean up these cuts here on the side, but I thought I'd show you guys this before I do that. Let me also show you guys the fuel cell. So as you can see right here, you can see the fittings right here, and the sump is down, like kind of flush with the bottom of the bumper. I'm really happy with that. This thing is low, but it's gonna have some 26-inch tall tires on it basically, so there's no way it's gonna ever rub back here. I'm really happy with this. So as you guys can see, dude, did you just reuse these straps from the stock gas tank? And yes, you are right, I did. So I just reused these ones. I put a bolt back here. So here in the back, it just has a hole through the floor with a bolt in it. And then up here, and then up top, I'll show you guys that here in just a second once I take it out. I just used the things that like they go up into the frame rails and they slide down. I just made some like notches back there where they're gonna go, and then I just put like two MIG tacks on them because they are kind of up pretty high. and I don't know how hard they're going to be to get to them. So either way, it's easy to take those bolts off the front, and then the straps can come down and out of the way and you can bend them. This stuff's really thin metal, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to be adding other tabs like that mount to the chassis, of course, but that is going to be like the main support for this fuel cell. So like that's going to take the majority of the weight, trying to like have it come down. And then all the other 4 mounts that I add to it are going to be just to stabilize it, because in there like it just moves around all over the place. So I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the stock fill neck. I'm not really sure if it's going to work now, because I'm going to have to like figure out a way to do it where I can still put it up in there, and then it's going to have to come through the side paneling piece, and I don't know. Figure that out when we get there. I'm going to go ahead and take this back out and clean up these cuts and see what we're looking like, and then maybe we'll mess with the sheet metal a little bit.
Depot on the beat.
I can't remember exactly where we left off. I've been jumping around doing things. I've been working up in the front while I was waiting for some stuff for the rear false firewall thing. But I did get the sheet metal back here all finished up, and it's all tacked in. This right here is all welded around the edges, and then it's all tacked on the sides here at the bottom and up and around here around the top, just to help keep it in place. And then of course it'll get seam sealed all the way around it, so it's actually sealed off. Right now, I was talking about earlier, want to make like a little dummy panel here, so that way we can still take it off and still get to the stuff up top. And I'm thinking what I'm gonna have to do is like weld in a piece of tube right here, somewhere over in here, to actually like use a stock fill neck. I drilled this hole over here as well for the fill neck, so I'll just run through there and then up to the fill neck. Right now I'm gonna cut this panel out and then see what we're working with. And later on I need to go over to Brent's, and I'll use their shear to cut like a nice square that'll actually be bigger than this, so it actually looks like a square. And then also, I'm not sure what I want to do with it. I don't know if I want to nutsert this so that way the panel like bolts in, or if I want to use like some quick release like push button things. I don't think I can use those because I won't be able to get them to mount flush enough, but we'll see when we get there, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out and then get to moving right along today. So I'm really sorry if this video was all over the place. I honestly don't even remember the last thing that I showed you guys. So I'm just going to show you guys the progress I made on it. It's kind of like one of those things, right? Like while I was filming all this stuff, I was also doing stuff up front on the engine bay and doing some other stuff. And so I've got like a whole bunch of footage for like 3 different videos, and I kind of get lost in it sometimes. So let me just show you guys what I've got going on. So this is the back of Carlos's car. I got all of these nutserts in here, and then this panel right here just sits over it. We're gonna get some weather stripping stuff and just like put it around it so that way it seals it really nicely. And then so here, you guys are probably looking at this like, what in the heck is this? Well, this is coming from the fill neck, right? So this is a piece of stainless, and then it's welded here to this plate, and then underneath here, see how it sticks down? Well, so I'll show you guys here in just a second, but the tank has another piece off of it, so there's a silicone coupler goes right in between those two. And then as you can see, like, this is really simple. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't just order a bunch of stainless 90s and just like make them all together and make, why, I don't think I could have made this one piece anyways. But really simple, these couplers just go here, and then over here we use this stock fill neck stuff. As you can see up in there, it's the stock fill neck with a 90 welded to it. Now, one thing I didn't do with mine, which I'm going to do with Carlos's, which I kind of wish I would have, but so I'm going to run 2 vents from the tank. Instead of having a vent with just a filter off of it, like on mine, I'm going to run 2-10 vents up to the gas tank film neck thing up there. It has like a little baffling in it, so that's where the vent's actually supposed to go, so that way, once it starts to get full, it won't actually like overfill out of the vent hole like what mine does. So like mine, like the rollover valve and the vent hole is all one thing. So like when I go to pour fuel into mine, instead of like stopping or like not filling up anymore and like backing up and hearing it, it just overfills out of it. Where this way, running it up to the stock vents where it used to go, it won't, like the pump will shut off by itself, and then also it won't like spill out and go all over the place at the track. So that's a little update on that. And then I just got done welding the piece on the fuel cell itself. Here's the little piece I was telling you guys about. It's really simple. Now I still got to do a lot of modification to this thing. Still need to add a couple bungs to it. The vents, I'm going to put 2 vent holes on it, and then also we're going to be doing different fittings. So like none of the fittings on here were right. This thing was just like $100, so it's easier to buy this and modify it than it is for me to make one from scratch. So those fittings are going to be showing up next week sometime. Once they get here, I will make a separate video on mounting his fuel pump and then doing all of his fuel lines. So he is going to be running a 625 on this, I believe. So we're going to take the pump off his all motor car, because he got a new pump for that to put some sick fuel in it. So he's gonna be taking the pump off that car and then putting on his Integra here, so that way he'll be good to make like 900 to 1,000 horsepower if he ever wants to do it. So that's the plans we got going for you guys. I have a lot of stuff going on in the engine bay that I have videos on that I haven't, like, it's just waiting on stuff, right? So I've been filming stuff for you guys. Hope you guys are excited about it as I am. And yeah, other than that, I got a lot of stuff I got to do today. So I'm gonna leave you off this video here. Hope you guys are excited for it. I hope you guys like how that fuel cell stuff turned out, and I'll get some better clips of it once we get the fuel cell stuff in there, or the fuel lines done. And yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, we'll see ya.